welcome back to Let's Play Grandia 3. Last time, we spent a bunch of time around here gaining secret moves, and I missed an item. Yeah, I know, I missed an item. We're gonna go get it, don't worry. I checked my notes after recording the last episode. I know I missed it. Come on, you can do it. You push that big rock over in Dragon Valley. I think you can push that thing too. This one leads to a lone enemy and a treasure chest that I didn't get because I didn't turn here. Because I'm smart. Come back here. Alright, cleared out all those guys. And in here we get Staff of Ice for Alfina. There we go. Always gotta miss something, don't we? This one's more physically based, but it's a lot more physically based. It also will turn her attacks into water elemental attacks, so if the enemy you're fighting is resistant to it, you'll want to unequip it, which you can do in battle if you so desire. I'm going to turn on the fast forward here so that we can get back to where we were. Go! And let's head out the door here. And from here, we head into Sand Valley. Out of one dungeon into an interesting area. Not that it's all that unique. We've seen these types of areas before. Just want to make sure that we're getting all that we can. And they do have new birds. Hey, come back here. I want to show you off. Hey, come back here. What have we here? We have condors. They are not on my list of anything that they drop is interesting. So, I believe they probably call for help at some point. Sure, we'll use that. Why not? And what can you do? Force wave? Force wave. Why not? Get a couple of hits in anyway. And you can use Blade Storm.
Pardon me,
You use Mana Caster. Basically just using whatever. Because everyone has lots of SP, I gotta use it. I guess I could have used Dragon Slash to finish them all off too, but oh well. There we go, finish off this guy very easily. Yeah, now that Alfina's working on Energy Drive most of the time, I'm kind of not working on Holy Circle as much, which is unfortunate because by the time we're finished leveling up Energy Drive, Holy Circle probably won't be all that useful anymore. There's a very narrow window where I think it's really all that good. It's still good, like, as far as its damage go, it's not good for very long, but its useful feature is in interrupting bosses that are trying to attack you. And later on, a lot of the enemies won't be able to be hit by or interrupted by those types of attacks.
Of course we won.
Anyway, just figured I'd at least talk about that briefly. I'll fight the other guys either later, not at all, or off screen. One of the 3 or 4, whatever.
I see. Pick a card.
Okay, we got another shot there for homing shot, or another method for homing shot. Nice. Okay, finished off the birds as well as that dragon guy. I would actually fight the birds now that I realize how much money they drop, especially if they do mating call a few times and they can summon, I think, up to 3 more helpers all at the same time with the same move there. So you can get a whole whack ton of money. For just killing, I think, like 5 of them, you get 720, but if you stay in the battle a little while and they use it like 3 or 4 times, you can easily get 1,500, 2,000 gold per, in a battle. So it might be worthwhile if you feel you need the money. And we're back inside another one of these, even though this one technically has a different name. I said I would be going and farming some of these for eggs, but I'll be doing that later once we're finished with the area. Okay, I killed like 3 groups off screen there since there was a bunch of them roaming around here. And the first treasure we can get is right here. Moge Bomb, I believe that's a cancel effect. Do note there's a treasure chest up at the top of the screen there. We'll get that a little bit later. But before doing that, we want to head on out here. This leads back out into Sand Valley, and this should lead us to another one of these paths that doesn't look like it's doing much. Yay! We learned Force Wave again! Woo! Oh, and we learned Mana Capture! Excellent!
Would you mind sharing?
Well, that was a productive battle. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else floating around here except for more of these guys. Alright, finished off him. And cross... Why are there bridges around here anyway? Unfortunately, we can't, just look it down at the ground. Like, it's just covering this huge desert area, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of reason why. It leads to a treasure chest, which is nice, but who built it and why?
Got it.
Okay, in one of those battles, we learned the final level for Blade Storm. Finally. Okay, I finished off the rest of the enemies there. And do note I missed a chest over there, so we'll go back and grab that one in a moment. Here, we got a new pair of cards for Donna. Now, do note we'll be getting we'll be getting cards like this throughout the game, where she'll either get a pair of cards that ups both of her attack and her magic, or just her attack. Depending on what you plan on her doing, like I'm just doing normal attacks right now, so that's actually a good use for her to have those on. She'll do more damage. Her attack power is almost as much as Ulf's now. And yeah, because I have the Gambler on, it doesn't really demonstrate how high his would be, normally 95. But yeah, it's even more than Yuki's, which is quite nice. But when we get around to boss fights, or, specific fights where we'll actually be using magic, then we'll probably want to put the other cards back on, assuming I remember to do so. There we go, and what do we get here? We get a fire ring. Not that I'm going to use it, but okay, sure. And once you've got those two items, we can head back in, as long as I remember to restart my timer. And I believe some of the enemies will have respawned, probably. I'll have to take care of a bunch of them off screen again. Or I could just run right past them. That would work too. Yeah, let's just do that. Sure. There was one originally here. I already took care of it. Only some of them seem to respawn there. God, I love Force Wave. There's nothing over here? Really? A dead end and there's nothing? Well, there's other stuff up there, but we can't get up there quite yet. So let's head this way first. Looks like there's some stuff to the right there, but we can't get there from here. Ah, what have we here? What is this thing? Move statue. What did that do? Oh, so we can only access one side of the dungeon at a time. Now, I can't remember which side I'm supposed to do first, so I'm going to heal up and save, and I will double check my newts, and I will see you in a moment. Okay, so I guessed right. We are supposed to press that first and head over here to the left side first, because there's only one treasure, I believe, at the end of the path, and that's pretty much it for this side.
What a rush.
Oh, wow. I got 2 egg drops in that same fight. Wow. Chances of that are not particularly high. That was lucky. Okay.
I got it.
Okay, we learned another method for a big wheel. I did decide to do like 3 of the fights off screen since there was a bunch here. But I was going to say that there's only one treasure at the end of this path, but according to the walkthrough I've been following, it's not a crappy one. It's actually very nice. This one. Try and push one of these guys again. If it's what I think it is, it's a very nice one indeed. Open up the door. What do we find in here? tell me it's the one I think it is, because if so, I am very happy. Yee, Scout Book. If you don't recall, that's the one with 3 2-tech skills, which means it's a good choice for Ulf to be using for now. But on top of that, it extracts 2 Berserker, which we will be doing, well, later. Probably once we're done with this area, actually. By the time we get back, we'll probably actually have more reason to do it. The reason why I don't do it earlier on, even though it's still useful earlier on, is that I'm, as you can see, using a lot of attacks. And I see a sword up there. Let's go after that. But before we go after that, you really, really want to save before going to the right. And if you don't say I didn't warn you, because I did. Okay, all healed up and all saved. Make sure you do that before you go this way. You'll thank me. Let's open up some of these guys first. Got flare egg, don't need white sulfur, clear powder. Alright. Everyone who's played this game and actually remembers it, I didn't during my test run, will remember these guys. Because they come out of absolutely nowhere. Doesn't seem like a room you would need to save in order to deal with. Surround you easily. And not only can they deal a whole bunch of damage, they have a lot of HP, and they're almost completely immune to physical attacks. Yeah, like I said, you're going to be happy if you followed my advice and you decided that buying or extracting some powerful spells was a good idea.
This might sting a little.
Because, yeah, pretty much immune to physical attacks.
Pick a card. Any card.
Now, you can use things like Whirlwind and Blade Storm that do somewhat decent damage, but you really want to focus more on actual spells. Now, these are also relatively important fights because you can, oops, wrong side, you can get something really useful out of these fights. So make sure you have some decent spells equipped before coming in here, otherwise you're going to be in trouble.
Won't do you any good to wish
But
on
yeah,
this
things like
falling
Meteor
star.
Strike, that will be your go-to. Also things like Zap All, or anything that hits multiple enemies that can kind of distract them. Since Ulf can't do a lot of damage, I tend to use Tremor with him, or have him be the one that cancels their ability to use lightning.
This might sting a little.
Because you don't want them to do that, though this one's probably going to do it. Yes. Also, forgot to do this. Change your equipment to mithril rings when you get here. Alright, Boomer. I don't think we've shown off Boomer yet.
Enough is enough.
Face the inferno.
Maybe we have. And let's see. Nope, front side again. Howl Slash. No, let's go back to Hellburner here. And sure, you can do a Hellburner, whoever goes first.
The flames of hell will burn you to ashes.
There you go. Having Hellburner makes this a lot
All right,
easier.
we did it.
But the thing is, you fight 4 of them. But you don't just fight 4 of them, you fight 4 groups of 2 of them. So I'm going to do the rest of these off screen. Just do note that if you can open your menu in between, I would equip those mithril rings before coming in here. Dig in if you're having trouble, can work. Tremor is good for kind of distracting them. Let's see, I don't want you using lightning because that's annoying.
Illuminate the darkness.
So let's stop you from doing that right there. And if you can hit them both with something that can paralyze them, all the better. This will distract them from being able to get turns in while you power up to use your more powerful spells, so that can be useful as well.
Got it.
Okay, and one of those we learned to move for Inferno Spike just because he happened to have full SP, and I'll show you to see how much damage we can actually accumulate out of the ability, but I don't remember it being super high. Okay, it's decent at least. So yeah, you could still use things like that, Whirlwind, Blade Storm if you wanted to. But basically, I've just been beating up on these guys on my own time here. Now, one reason you may want to, well, one of two reasons you want to save before coming in here is one, it's usually a shock, and two,
Of course
the enemies give quite a bit of money, which is nice. Okay, I finished taking the rest of those guys out. I was trying to lead into something, I don't remember what the hell it was. They have a chance of dropping endurance rings, which doesn't really matter at all because it's just 10 defense. They also have a chance of dropping thunder eggs, which is a little more useful. Oh, do I have one left? I don't. I think it's like a level 4 egg or something like that. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it's not horrible. More importantly, they have a chance of dropping the Heaven's Blade for Yuki. It's low damage, but it has a higher chance of making enemies killed by Yuki drop rare items. Of course, in and of itself, the Heaven's Blade is a super rare item that is really hard to get, and I've just killed all these guys 3 times in a row, reloading each time and checking over and over and over again to see if I happen to win it. I'm going to try a couple more times, and if I get lucky enough to get it, great. If not, we'll move on. It's not something that's required, but you cannot repeat this fight at all ever again. So if you are imperative that you must get that Heaven's Blade for completion's sake, there will be a chance of getting it later, so don't worry about it. But if you want it now, and it might make something later on that I plan to farm easier, then, you know, by all means keep trying. But I'm only going to try a couple more times, and if I get lucky, great. If not, then we'll see you in a moment. Okay, absolutely no luck. There is one other item they can drop, and it's a defense seed. I did actually get it, but I didn't bother to show it off because I was running fast forward and I was running away from enemies when I happened to pick it up. So do note that when you run into the guys, if you run directly this way, you'll still run into one battle, but use your invulnerability frames. You can get out here, turn the camera around eventually, and then, you know, heal up, get prepared, go back in, and they'll just basically stand right by where they came out of the wall, and you can walk up to them and they will start running at you. Just kind of be aware of that. But like if you're close to this one, like right here, the other two from back here won't try and run at you. One way I found that seems to work really well, and you do have enough MP for it, is Hellburner in combination with Meteor Strike. Have one of the ladies and one of the guys target each of the guys that way. Their normal attacks can also cancel your attacks, so just kind of be aware of that. But yeah, I found that worked pretty well for me when I was trying to get them there. But unfortunately, no luck of getting the... I got all 3 of the drops they had except for the one that I wanted. They have 4 drops total. And I just couldn't get the Heaven's Blade, unfortunately. More enemies to take care of. Alright, I finished off a couple of groups of enemies there. Let's try going this way first. Looks like another push the block and go in the room with 1 chest and maybe 1 enemy. They're pretty straightforward with a lot of the areas in here, but at least the design of kind of the dungeons is nice in the way that it's somewhat confusing, so there's actually reason to run around and look for things, and it's not like super straightforward. It's not a hallway. Let's take a look here. What do we got here? A veteran book. 3 to tech, 2 to body. Oh yeah, that's really, really good. Let's give it to you, I guess, in this case. So already one of the scout books that we got in here has become obsolete because we got something better. So chances are I will be sacrificing both of those when we get back to town there. That will be awesome. We'll get access to a few more things. What do we got in here? More things to blow up. Holy water. more treasure. More holy water. Nice, I guess. Alright. And then we have this one over here. What does this lead to? Go around in a big circle. Ooh, treasure all the way over on the other side. And, ooh, the Ice Brand. It's a new sword for Yuki there. Alright, now after taking care of more of the same, what do we got here? Contains a bond of trust. We got that back in Grandia too. Have we got that so far this time? Oh, it's not an equiption this time. It's just an item. That's right. Inventory. Let's see, where are you? Bonds of trust. We haven't had one yet. Consumable moves the ally's IP gauge slightly ahead. Does not disappear when used. It was an equiption before in Grandia 2, and it had a similar effect on it that you could use in battle. Here it's just a repeating item in the vein of Legend of Dragoon or something like that. So there's that. But that's pretty much all the time we have for today. Next time I will meet you over at the save point, because we've cleared out, I believe, everything that's left to do in here, and heading outside leads into long cutscenes, which we do not have time for. So, in between episodes, if I don't record the next one right away, which I don't think I will, I might go back to my previous save file and try again a few times off screen just to see if I can get lucky enough to win the Heaven's Blade, because it'll make my life easier later on, but it's not required in any way. So anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.